Hey guys, it's the Biotrust. Welcome to Living Off One More Dollar Each Day, day $8. Today I get $8 to spend on food for the day, so let's get to the grocery store and see what I can get. Alright guys, I'm back from the grocery store, and yet again, I feel like we're building good momentum that having food from previous days helps open up more options for today, and the stuff I get also will have extra food that I can use in the future days. So I feel like we're getting into a good cycle, but let's go over what I got. I knew I'd probably be eating two more sandwiches using the deli meat from yesterday, so I was mainly focused on getting a good breakfast option that would last me a while. I found this box of French toast sticks for $2.55. It seemed like a good amount of value for the price, but I was looking at it and I realized I already have plenty of bread, more than I'm going to use throughout the series, and $2.55 is not too far from the price of eggs, so I can just make it at home myself. So that's what I decided to do. I bought a dozen eggs for $2.71. I feel like this is a cornerstone ingredient that's going to open a lot of options moving forward, so it's definitely going to be nice to have this for the next few days. Since I'm making French toast, I also looked at cinnamon, and they had a container that was not too expensive for $1.09. But outside of French toast, I don't really have any plans to use the cinnamon, and $1.09 is still a pretty significant amount of the budget that I'm definitely going to feel it, and adding cinnamon isn't going to make the French toast so much more filling. So I decided to pass on that and basically just make it with pure bread and eggs, which I feel like won't be bad. But I did have enough money in the budget that I could still buy a container of syrup for $2.35. I'm not planning that every food's going to be utilizing syrup in some way, but I feel like it is an ingredient that'll be nice to have available. Now, the final thing I bought, which is definitely the most luxury item I've bought this entire series so far, but it is something that's going to last for a few days, although it's not quite as necessary for a meal plan. Now, I have quite a sweet tooth, but it hasn't really been in the budget to buy desserts recently. But today, I finally had enough that I can make it work, so I decided to buy this container of gelato for $3.29. I feel a little spoiled because I don't even usually buy gelato when I'm just buying food without a budget in mind, but I do feel like this is something that I can afford, and going through all the stuff recently, it's definitely nice to have a little bit of a luxury treat. Normally, I just buy containers of ice cream. Typically, great value brand because every ice cream is going to be good and it's a lot cheaper than other brands. The budget is increasing each day, so upgrades like this are becoming more plausible as the series goes on. I'll probably make two sandwiches using the deli meat from yesterday for lunch and dinner, but for now, I think I'm going to make some French toast using the bread and eggs that I bought. But before I get into that, I'm going to go ahead and try out this gelato because I feel like when you get home with ice cream and soften up a bit on the drive, I feel like that's when it's kind of really good. So let me get a spoon and let's give this a shot. All right, it's looking pretty good, but let's see how it tastes. Okay, yeah, it is very soft already. It does taste very rich. It has that texture that's a bit different from ice cream that makes it feel a bit more fancy. This is pretty solid, and for 3.29 for this amount, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. If you went out and got ice cream like one time, it'd probably be more than $3. So having this container at home available, I feel like it's a good value. I feel like this is a pretty nice dessert to have, and if it doesn't last to the end of the day, I think something went wrong. So hopefully this will be my dessert for the next few days. I finished cooking the first batch of French toast, and I think it turned out alright. It doesn't look amazing, but it's been a while since I made French toast, but probably should have looked up a tutorial. Hopefully it tastes fine though, so let's give it a taste. I don't really own any small cups for syrup, so I just use the scoop that comes with the protein powder, and yes, I'm aware of the irony of filling with syrup, but let's go ahead and see how it is. I feel like it's very average French toast, but even then it's still pretty good. I've never made it with honey wheat before. I feel like if I greased the pan with butter instead of vegetable oil sticks, it would have given it some more flavor. Also, cinnamon would have helped. But for a meal in itself, I feel like this is definitely not bad. It's still pretty good, but, would definitely be improved if there was a bigger budget. I feel like for a breakfast, this is pretty decent, but hopefully it's filling enough. But if not, I at least have the two sandwiches for today, plus the biscuit and gravy bites as a backup if I need it. So I think today will be just fine. For reference, whisking 3 eggs was enough to coat 5 pieces of French toast, so pretty affordable meal. So to recap for today, I used my budget to buy a dozen eggs, a bottle of syrup, and a tub of gelato. This totaled $8.35, so I'll be taking 35 cents out of the change that I've been accruing for the last few days. Throughout the day, I ate 4 pieces of French toast, made two sandwiches using the turkey meat from yesterday, wiping out the remaining amount, and ate about a third of the container of gelato. I still have quite a few ingredients left over, including 9 eggs, so should be a good amount of food to prepare for the next few days. But that's going to wrap it up for today. If you're enjoying this series, leaving a like helps it reach a wider audience. If you want to keep up to date with new episodes as they get posted daily, feel free to subscribe. But either way, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.